got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Last Great Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee is on the menu for tonight. A little bit of an audible, as we were supposed to be located in North Carolina this week, but it's the world's fastest half-mile oval, race number 11 of the season, and live here tonight for the QSR Next Gen Cup Series here on V-Speed. Well, there you go, the Punted Bafoons. 200, I guess it's the 100, with Bristol here being half a mile, 200 laps here tonight, as we get set to take the grid. Quick look here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It opened up July 30th, 1960, one of the steepest banked racetracks in the world, in North America. 30 degrees of banking, that's 3 degrees shy of Talladega. It's been equated to putting shoes in the dryer. The gymnasium with cars in it is more what it feels like. Two pit roads, that's going to be difficult here tonight. We'll take a look at your race analysis in just a moment, but two pit roads is going to make it difficult. There's going to be 5 or 6 drivers on the backstretch that will have a pit stall back there. And if you're pitting on the front stretch, you have to be quick on it, especially if you qualified back around the 20th position or so. It's going to be a quick in and out as you come down that pit line. But yes, Bristol Motor Speedway, a very difficult racetrack, but a very fun racetrack to watch. Race analysis up on your screen. 200 laps, 35 mile per hour pit road speed limit. Tire sets at 4 here tonight. 100% fuel. 2 green-white checkered attempts. And the stage at lap 60. Of course, on that iRacing fixed setup. It's time to show you your grid now with Carter Lynn starting on the top spot. He ran a 14.631. He beats Jesse Gordon by about 400ths of a second. Row number 2 belongs to Davis Greenwell. Galen Wunsch in the 4th spot. Row number 3 with John Fike, Dylan Picklesheimer in 6th, and then Jason Blaney and Johnny DePasquale starting in 8th. Rounding out your top 10 tonight, Brent Allen, Christian Ruck-Regal in the number 33. 11th going to Quentin Stewart. Mitchell Costner will start in 12th. 13th, Nicholas Caldwell. Jeremiah Nelson. And you had Finley Fitzsimmons. David Killow will start in 16th. Austin Thomas. Tony Burlington. And Nathan Line. Ryan Philbrick. You got Tristan Pena. Fred Pennington. Alan Dobbs lining up as well Al Likens electing, well, I guess he did take a time. John Walker, Wyatt Walker, and Ethan Wisnowski not on the grid here tonight. So we're going to take an extra pace lap here at Bristol. Get things racked up. It will be Carter Lenz taking them around 27 cars, 14 rows deep. Rows deep. Got a half row there. And Carter Lenz will go into turn 1. Here we go for week number 11. It's Bristol, baby. Already a great start there for Lenz, but side by side behind him with Davis Greenwell, Jesse Gordon on the high line through 3 and 4, trying to complete this pass. Can't get it done just yet. And the 20 to the inside. Side-by-side racing going on. This is actually the 88 machine on the inside. That's the 42 of David Killow being labeled as the 20 out here tonight. This battle for the 15th position on your screen. And the caution is out. Tristan Pena involved. Tony Burlington and the 50 Whataburger machine facing the wrong way. There's a look at Tristan Pena going into turns 3 and 4, and we'll watch here crossing the line. So he moves to the outside of the 38 line. If the line gets into the 79, and then Pena turned after the fact. Nathan Line taking him down to the inside here. Watch on board with the 38. Minor damage there for the 38. Looks like the 50 of Pena gets away, but that 79 of Burlington turned around there in what appeared to be 1 and 2. That'll bring out our first caution of the evening. So it's Carter Lenz who's led every single lap so far that we've completed. We have a moment. Maybe we can find one of these drivers to talk to. Davis Greenwell. Davis Greenwell, it's Bradley Cooper in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we saw you line up there. You got around the 110, or it was at least able to hold him off there and side by side for the first few laps. Did that chew up the tires at all? Do you have something for the 66?
No, I think that 66 is just quick tonight. I was just trying to ride bottom, you know, run quick, but not fully burn my tires. So I was just holding that pain as best I could there, and trying to bounce, good speed, good tires. So yeah, that's all that happened there.
We're getting lined back up here. Anybody want to shout out real quick before we go back green?
Yeah, shout out Redacted. That's all I got for tonight. And yeah, have fun in the booth.
Davis Greenwell restarting in second spot. Get ready to go back green with the 66 of Lynn's on the inside. Here we go. Back underway at Bristol on lap 10. Puts on some heat on the back end, but ends up short on the exit of the corner of turn 4. Lost a little bit of ground. We got side by side with Dylan Picklesheimer. The one of Johnny Pasquale is trying to get back up to where he started this race. He's back up to 8th, has Christian Ruck-Regal to the inside here on lap 12. Down the backstretch, ends up falling in line just in front of the one. Quentin Stewart on board with the 99, trying to chase these drivers down. Up one position from where he began the race already. But in 11th, there's Johnny DePasquale right in front of him. And then you have Mitchell Costner, Nicholas Caldwell, who always gets around this place really well. Started a little bit further back than we would expect for the 11th. Started back at 13th. Board with Caldwell. It seems like this field single filing out relatively quickly. It's quieted down up here in the top 10. You have to go all the way back here around the 16th position to see any kind of side-by-side. There's the 88 of Fitzsimmons going to the outside of Mitchell Costner for 15th. It's a Wendy's breakfast machine completing the pass. There's quite the change up here in the schedule. We were originally talking about going to Rockingham after the Magic Mile. In New Hampshire fell apart quickly. Had a pretty good start the first half. But a lot of drivers that got pinned outside of the top 10 trying to race to get back up there, and then the chaos that ensued after the fact. A lot of penalties were originally handed out before this race and the venue change. I was not expecting to see drivers like the 13 Britt Allen out here on the racetrack tonight. Quite a few drivers that were handed EOL penalties that I don't think any of these penalties were actually part of this race here today because of the change. We'll jump back up front. John Fike has worked his way up to 3rd. Davis Greenwell back to 4th spot. Right there from Galen Wunt. He's having some connection issues as we look off the hood of Jason Blaney. Code right now. Not making up much ground there on the 20 of Greenwell. Galen Wunsch has actually gained a little bit last time by. He was a tenth faster than Blaney. You can take a look at the last lap times on the left-hand side of your screen. It's Linz and Gordon running the fastest lap times in this top 5. Galen Wunsch's telemetry a little bit broken here. Now updated with a 13.6. I think that is something to do with his connection issue that he's had tonight. Now it clears up at 15.6 seconds. It's Carter Lentz, 1.5 seconds ahead already here at Bristol. And it sounds like we have a car in the wall somewhere on this racetrack. It's Wyatt Walker. Heavy right front damage on Walker's machine. Let's take it back on an instant replay and see if we can find what happened to Walker. He almost, oh, Nathan Line involved. Nowhere for Line to go. We'll back this up one more time. He's going to get loose off of turn 2. Nathan Line just nowhere to go. Line's still out there on the racetrack, but man, is he beat up. He's letting these leaders go by now. Here comes the 20 of Greenwell to the inside off of turn 4. It's unfortunate there for Line, but I think at this point you might have to get off the racetrack as we see the 22 get to the outside. Laney gonna try to get by Greenwell. Greenwell gets loose off of 4. 22 has the advantage going into 1, and he clears him for 4th. Nathan Line into the wall now in the background. Almost 3 wide there off of 2. That's what 1.3 seconds looks like with Jesse Gordon. John Fike up into the top 3. Last time by, Fike a little bit faster. Looking like John Fike is going to catch up to Jesse Gordon in just a couple laps. We get into that wake less than 3/10, and that's when the dirty air starts to affect this car a little bit. See again, still catching up. Is spread out. We're past the halfway mark for stage 1. There's the clog up here for around the 4th position. Laney was able to get around the 20 of Greenwell, but not able to run away with it. We're back on offense. 9 of Picklesheimer looks to the outside. Riding on board with Galen Wunsch. It looks like his connection issue has cleared up. 9 of Picklesheimer just looking to get around the 20. He'll get to the outside here. Out of turn 2. Still holding on the door. Out for the top 5. Picklesheimer has it. Going into 1, barely. Picklesheimer clears to the top 5. Greenwell falling back here, back to 7th now. Christian Ruck-Regal the next in line. Quentin Stewart running in 10th position. Johnny DePasquale just behind Ruck-Regal. The top 3 spread starting to shrink down a little bit here. We're watching Jesse Gordon chase down as Carter Lenz had to battle around the 79 of Burlington. Lost a little bit of ground there. Last time by, he was about a 10th slower than the rest of the field. 22 laps to go. Carter Lenz, 7/8 of a second ahead. Look back here to Johnny DePasquale, getting closer and closer to Christian Ruck-Regal. And Picklesheimer just in front of that. And it looks like Picklesheimer kind of double diamonding these corners to fend off Galen Wunsch. Wunsch double diamonds the corner as well. Getting a really good run here to the outside. To the bottom. This is for Fit. And Alan Jeremiah Nelson. Nelson maybe down pit road. I'm not sure what happened to the 48. No, he's not down pit road, but he is falling behind. He lost 3 spots right there. And we back this up. We've actually got a little bit of contact here coming off the corner. The 35 to the back of the 48. Watch this. From our blimp cam, 35 is going to get the run. No, 48 just gets loose. In the first angle, it looked like he had got contact and moved out of the way. Fall back in line. There's Tristan Pena, who got involved in the first caution right around lap 7. And at threat of going a lap down as the lead is fallen to half a second with 4 to go, 5 to go to this stage break. Appreciate that, avid race fan. Caution's out here on lap 58. And it looks like David Killow, Tony Burlington, Nathan Line, all involved, 23rd through 25th. That'll do it for stage 1 as Carter Lenz will become your stage winner. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen with Gordon, Fike, Blaney, Wunsch, Picklesheimer, Greenwell, DePasquale, Ruck-Regal, and Caldwell. Four tires on the menu here for these drivers. Let's see everybody take 4. Down and away for the 66. He'll hold on to the lead. Jesse Gordon just behind. And Burlington missing his pit stall. Going to come back down pit road. Put Blaney back down pit road as well. He actually almost follows the 79. Comes back out on the racetrack. There's Greenwell and Wunsch for the top 10. And we'll rack them back up for stage number 2. Don't go anywhere. We have more coverage to continue. Live on V-Speed, QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. We'll continue right after this.
Walking and Rolling Costumes started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing lead in throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to our coverage at Bristol Motor Speedway. And just before that stage break, we had a caution. So we're going to take a look back at what happened. We had to wrap up there with the stage winner, Carter Lenz, and your top 10. Let's take it back here to show you what happened to David Killow. And this is back at lap 58. 06 of Philbrook to the inside. Burlington's going to get involved in this as well. 20's up into the wall. He's going to get a little bit loose, and comes the 50 to the inside. And this is where it all goes wrong off the corner. 54 of Dobbs all over the back end. It's going to happen really quickly. 20's going to get loose again. Several moments here where 3 wide, 4 wide. And then the 20 off the wall, gets loose into the 88. And that's what brings out the caution there just before the stage break. Back to the live shot. The 66 is ahead of John Fike. Jesse Gordon got past. Falls back to third, down 1 spot now. Johnny DePasquale and Austin Thomas for 8th spot. See the 35 of Austin Thomas. This is around the 6th, back to the 11th position. Al Likens joining this party slowly. Had the 10th off the last time by. And we're watching here with the 3 of Likens, who's picked up about 13 positions since the beginning of this race. Back in 24th spot. He's passed half this field to get up here today. .35 of Austin Thomas. Nicholas Caldwell. Quiet days so far for Caldwell and Thomas. Likens again up 13, but Thomas up 8, trying to get around Johnny DePasquale. And it sounds like an expired engine for somebody. I think that's John Walker on pit road. Finley Fitzsimmons also out of this race. So we have 24 cars still on the racetrack. And it's Nathan Line, 13 laps down. Alan Dobbs a lap down as well. Be the free pass position in 22nd. Last car in the lead lap is Tony Burlington. Battle for second. Jesse Gordon getting back around John Fike. Able to clear off of turn 2. And back at the tail end of stage 1. The 110 was gaining on Lenz. Just ran out of time. He had it down to around 0.4 of a second before that caution came out. Fike not going away without a fight, though, for second. Keep peeking to the inside, trying to keep some clean air on that nose. There's a look at the previous lap times. Gordon starting to pick up the pace compared to Lenz, about a second ahead. This is battles on the racetrack right here around the 10th position and back here to Philbrick. There was some side-by-side. The 50 of Tristan Pena moving back up to 12th. Up 9 spots now for the Whataburger number 50. As Ryan Philbrick all over the back bumper, though, going into 1 and 2. Rush with the wall for the 50. Doing everything he can to keep that 06 back there. They're losing ground to Likens. Was a half a second, now just over 7/10. And it's Dylan Picklesheimer, who's lost a ton of ground. He was fighting for the top 5 a moment ago. Now back in 15th behind this traffic. .48 of Jeremiah Nelson peeks to the inside again. The 06 was able to get around. So Philbrick going to go to work for the top 10. Watching this battle between Johnny DePasquale and Al Likens just in front of him. 20 of Davis Greenwell leading this group. Highline approach here. Able to fit it in out of turn 2. Likens giving some dirty air. DePasquale peeks to the inside. 06 not able to get the run off the corner last time by. That's the frustration of the short track at Bristol. You're going to end up running side by side for 7 or 8 laps. DePasquale is going to get loose. Inside wall for the 1. Take a look back on our instant replay right here off of turn 4. Just snaps it sideways and not able to correct it before the inside wall. And now we'll fall back to 16th position. .35 of Austin Thomas just hemorrhaged about 3 positions right there. Ryan Philbrick, the next in line, he'll get to the outside as well. But now at the halfway mark, it's time to find those volume knobs. And let's crank it up here on V-Speed, presented by MSR Performance. And the caution comes out. Ryan Philbrick, who was on the move through this field. Contact coming off of the corner. And there it is. Another caution. Third one today at lap 111. 33 of Ruck Regal trying to get it back going. Might want to try reverse. There it is coming off the corner, the 06 and the 33. Regal makes contact. I don't know if I can get a better angle at this, but it looked like the 33 comes up the racetrack here. Philbrick got to the outside. He'd been kind of working that line the whole time. 33 comes up into the 06, sends him to the inside, and Can't respond in time. Jeremiah Nelson, Al Likens involved as well, 35. Got a piece of it. A multi-car incident here on lap 111. That will put the 54 of Alan Dobbs back on the lead lap. Free pass position here for the 54. Carter Lenz continuing to lead. 113 laps. Now 114. He's led every single lap we've ran here at Bristol. This will double back up with about 85 to go. Lenz, Gordon, Blaney, Fike, and Greenwell. The top 5. Caldwell, Pena, Wisnowski, Stewart, and Allen were the top 10. Green flag back underway. Lots of wheel spin in the background. Greenwell's around. Fike as well. And it looks like John Fike, the start of this. Watch the 65 there on that left-hand lane. Lots of wheel spin there for the 65. The 20 involved. The 9 of Picklesheimer. And Greenwell sideways. It's right on board with Nicholas Caldwell. Looks like Fike just getting some wheel spin. That'll bring out our 4th caution of the night. It's been the Carter Lenz Show with Jesse Gordon chasing all night long. Jason Blaney, Nicholas Caldwell, and Tristan Pena finds his way up into the top 5 now. 16 spots gained, up 14 for Fred Pennington. And this flips the strategy a little bit as we double back up. 5th start of the day at Bristol. Stage 1 winner, still your leader. Does anybody have anything for this Toyota Camry up front? We haven't seen it yet. His car will get out of the way. We'll actually extend this caution 1 lap. Lights come back on. Some damaged cars trying to pull back up to the tail end of the field. Lights are out now. And we'll officially go back green on lap 122. Into turn 1, Lenz holds on to the lead. Blaney has company by the 11 of Caldwell. And there's Quentin Stewart into the top 5. He got around Tristan Pena. Pena's going to clear Pennington for 6th. But this is the highest that Quentin Stewart has ran all night. And sideways for Ruck Regal, the 06 of Philbrook into the wall. Looks like a little bit of net code there between the 06 and the 79 of Burlington. Ruck Regal in an unrelated incident to that. Go back to the live shot. Jesse Gordon able to get clear of Jason Blaney and pulls away. Trying to chase down Carter Lenz. 0.3 of a second back. Looking back here outside the top 10 with Brent Allen, Mitchell Costner going by on the inside. There's Ethan Wisnowski, who's up 14 positions in the 20, trying to claw his way back into the top 10. A little bit of a connection issue there for Wisnowski as the 20 tries to find a way around this traffic. Makes some contact with Wisnowski into the back end and cautions out. Try to find exactly where this happened. Happening back around Austin Thomas. On board with the 35. So Austin Thomas loses it there out of turn 4. And another caution on lap 132. So watch the 35 come down pit road. Five cautions. No lead changes with Carter Lenz getting the stage win. .110 of Jesse Gordon, the 22 of Jason Blaney, your top 3. Up 15 for Pennington and Pena. Back here in 6th position. And 7th spot. We're going to go side by side here on V-Speed. Don't go anywhere. More coverage will continue in just a moment. QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. Back with more after this.
Halloween costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan.
Welcome back here to this restart. So we already had a caution come out. It was the one of Johnny T. Pasquale, who got sideways. The 35 and the 38 involved in this as well. So a quick restart and caution. Here's a look at Di Pasquale going in to the corner, and the 199 of Galen Wunsch gets into him. Dobbs bouncing off the wall to try to avoid that on board with the 199. Single file restart, 142. Green flag back underway. Looking back here without Likens to the outside for the top 10. Trying to get around Burlington, Mitchell Costner. And of course, sideways. That's the 40 of Pennington. He's going to lose it. Down the back stretch. Caution's out. You're looking here with Lenz, Gordon, Blaney, Caldwell, Stewart, the top 5. Pena, Wunsch, Allen, Costner, and Likens in the top 10. Self-spin there to bring out a caution from Fred Pennington. 40 car was up in the top 10 just a moment ago. Back to 17th. 06 of Ryan Philbrick just ahead. Another one of those drivers that showed pace and it worked his way close to the top 10. Got involved in a caution. It's Carter Lenz leading every single lap so far today. 147 out of the 148 that will go back green on 149. So 3/4 of the way through this. Seven cautions. Carter Lenz getting stage 1. The 11th race of the season. Pace car's off. Single file restart back underway. Lap 149. Another great restart there for Carter Lenz. Jesse Gordon holding in check. Jason Blaney. There's Ethan Wisnowski in the background. Car sideways. Wisnowski able to hold on to. He's actually having a connection issue. So my telemetry thrown off a little bit by that. On board with the 5. The 11th position, Costner and Nelson. Side by side, Costner not able to complete that pass. 54 of Alan Dobbs. Into the wall. Lycan sends him up the racetrack. They're going to go too wide off of turn 4. Lycan's hit the wall pretty hard there. A lot of damage on the front end. Three-car continues to lose positions. Into the back of Costner. There's the 20 of Greenwell down to the inside. Lycan's doing everything he can to try to hold on. Meanwhile, up towards the front, we had an 06 of Philbrick who has a black flag. And the 5 of Wisnowski just made contact. The 40 of Pennington finishes the 06 off into the wall. Back up towards the front, though, we had a lead change. Carter Lenz has 46 laps on the stint, and Jesse Gordon takes over the top spot, his first laps led of the day. And the 22 is catching up. Right front damage for the 66. That might be why he lost all that ground. Take it back on a replay. Watch here with the 66 machine. He doesn't have damage in this frame. I'm going to assume he hit the wall coming out of turn 2. He got really sideways, bounces it off the wall, and the 110 goes right on by. Lenz now getting passed back to the live shot as you see Blaney to the inside for second. The dominant car of the day falling out of the top spot, now to third. This could be Jesse Gordon's win of the season. Gordon winless was around the top 10 in points coming into tonight. So has about 25 miles left. But goodbye the one of Di Pasquale to put him a lap down. A lot of problems back here with cars trying to navigate this traffic, and the caution's back out. It's Fred Pennington again down the front stretch. This is actually a connection issue with the 5 of Wisnowski sending that 40 sideways. Back it up one more time. Watch the 5. He has a blink, and when you have a connection issue like that, the 40 doesn't know where he is and keeps it off the wall. But it's enough to trigger a yellow here. Lap 166. Lenz down pit road with right front damage. It's Jesse Gordon up to the top spot after the mistake by your stage 1 winner, Carter Lenz. Hits the outside wall, gets some right front damage, but Gordon doesn't have it wrapped up just yet. We still have about 20 to go, 30 to go when we go back green. And Gordon will have to hold on. He has Jason Blaney, who has a little bit of front end damage as well. The 11 of Nicholas Caldwell, quiet so far tonight. Right front damage on his machine. The cleanest car is Tristan Pena. And that car picked up some damage earlier in this race, so it's probably not 100%. But it'll be a single file restart. Lights will go out on the pace car next time by. Let's ride on board with the 110. Jesse Gordon, the command car for this restart. Ready to go at Bristol. Greenwell gets back to the inside and passes Fike. Trying to make his way back up to the top 5. Austin Thomas goes by Ethan Wisnowski for 17th. Al Likens trying to make a pass on John Fike. They make heavy contact. Fike tries to block him to the bottom, and the 65's in the wall. Watch here with Fike. He's going to dive it down at the last second here. 3-car moves him out of the way. This is all the way back to 18th position now for the 65. Close battle here with Likens in the 20 of Greenwell. This is for the 8th position. Mickelsheimer in the wall there off the corner. Sets up a side-by-side with Burlington and Nelson. Jesse Gordon pulls out to 0.3 of a second. Blaney trying to chase him down. 21 laps left at Bristol. Should be smooth sailing here for Jesse Gordon. It's half a second back here to Jason Blaney. Nicholas Caldwell, the top three. Caldwell a little bit faster last time by, but can't find his way around the 22. Dobbs up to the top five. Pena back to fifth. Up 19 positions for Alan Dobbs as we get the 5 to go. Nathan Line into the wall in the background. It should be smooth sailing from here. No traffic in front of the 110. 2 to go at the mark. And Jesse Gordon looking like he might lock himself in to the Sweet 16. A lap and a half to go at Bristol. And he's going to do it. Jesse Gordon off of turn 4, one more time around. Jason Blaney, Nicholas Caldwell still battle for the second position. But the 110 going to claim victory. Jesse Gordon is going to win week number 11 at Bristol. Pass for position back there with Galen Wunsch. Davis Greenwell ends up getting 6th. We'll take it back here and take a look at what happened. Watch right here. The 199 and the 48 give up 2 spots here to the 20. Right at the line. It's actually the 5 that was down on the apron got into the 199. More coverage will continue here. Post-race and top 3 interviews. You are watching the QSR Next Gen Cup Series. More coverage will continue on V-Speed in just a moment.
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
takes the victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing lead and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was.
Welcome back to our coverage here at Bristol. Race number 11, a new winner on the season. Jesse Gordon gets it done. Carter Lenz in the 66, tough break for him. He ends up finishing back in 23rd position after he dominated here today. One lead change, 8 cautions. There's your stage 1 winner on the top right of your screen. Final race results coming up here. We'll get a word with your top 3 with Jesse Gordon, Jason Blaney, and Nicholas Caldwell. It was Alan Dobbs who came from the back of the field up to the top 5. Tristan Pena with an excellent finish. 5th place, top 5 finish for the 50. Davis Greenwell will finish in 6th spot. Galen Wunsch in 7th. Then you have Jeremiah Nelson in 8th. Brent Allen 9th. And your top 10, Austin Thomas claws his way back up here for a top 10 finish. 11th goes to Al Likens, Dylan Picklesheimer in 12th. Mitchell Costner will finish in 13th with Quentin Stewart in 14th. It's Fred Pennington in 15th position, Tony Burlington, Johnny DePasquale. Then you have David Killow, Ethan Wisnowski, and Christian Ruck-Riegel for the top 20. And all these cars, one or more laps down, with Nathan Line in 21st. John Fike, who was in the top 3 at one point today, finishing 22nd. Carter Lenz, your stage 1 winner and the pole winner, he will finish 23rd. That's Ryan Philbrick back in 24th. Finley Fitzsimmons will finish 25th. 26th to Wyatt Walker. And John Walker, electing not to take the field. He started this race, but John Walker, early exit, 27th position. So we have some drivers to talk to here in our post-race coverage, and the first driver we're going to bring up is going to be Jesse Gordon in the number 110. And Jesse, I got to congratulate you. It was hard fought. You had chased on Carter Lenz all night long, but the 110 car saw that mistake, was able to avoid him coming off the wall, and you never looked back. You're the only lead change of tonight and your first win of the season.
Yeah, it was really a hard fought battle there. Riding behind Carter, he was fast. I was hoping that on this long green flag stint at the end, if if he was going to burn his tires up before the end, but he ended up making a mistake, got loose, and smacked the wall pretty good. And I had to dive to the apron just to avoid him. So, yeah, it was a little chaotic there. But yeah, all in all, I was just trying to bide my time, maybe wait for either a mistake or a lap car. He maybe gets caught behind or something. But yeah, it was a good race. Stayed up top 3, I think, for most of the race, and just trying to pace myself and my tires. So if there was a late race caution or whatever, I maybe had an advantage, overheated, or whoever was behind me. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun running that. I like Bristol a lot.
We go back to the beginning of this race. You start in the second position. At the very beginning, did you feel like you had anything? Had Linz not made that mistake? Do you think maybe strategy, had this race gone green, you maybe could have got in front of him that way?
Yeah, I think if it did go green, even with the yellows racking back up, I think he was pushing pretty hard to burn his tires up. But there's no way to know for sure. But I had a feeling that I would possibly have an advantage, maybe to save enough tire over him. So if it did go green, I would have something for him at the end, push it a little harder. But yeah, all in all, I named my daughter Bristol for a reason, so it worked out.
Congratulations on having that child. It was just recent there that Jesse Gordon, I believe that's your third?
No, this is my first.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I apologize
I'm old
for
enough
that.
to have more than that, but
Well, congratulations on your first, and congratulations again on your first win of the season.
Yeah.
Jesse, I know that a lot of people put this car on the racetrack, and you got some teammates out there you want to shout out. Anybody come to mind while we have you in the booth?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, 101 Racing, Wyatt Walker, Ryan Philbrick, John Walker, Quentin for putting on the series, you for broadcasting, just everybody, my sponsors, Pink Cheeks Tanning Salon, Amsoil, Cretus Tires, Davis Trenching, United Window Tint, Empire Motorsports, and United Wraps.
Jesse Gordon, win and you're in. We'll see you next week at Darlington, and just 2 races left, I believe, of the regular season. So good luck there at the track Too Tough to Tame.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And there's Jesse Gordon in victory lane. First win of the season will catapult him to the top 5 in points as we move forward with our next driver. It's Jason Blaney in the number 22. We're going to catch up with him. Jason, found your way up there late race and never looked back, but it was tough. You had the 11 breathing down your neck for the last about 30 laps. Take us through maybe this last quarter of the race.
Yeah, man, I did a lot of practice with my fueled up teammates, and we really focused on just longevity on the tire wear. But tire wear longevity didn't really come into play. So people were ripping really fast lines that I just really didn't practice all that much. And Jesse somehow had that top working, and I knew I couldn't follow him because I'd just get tight and burn him up. But the bottom just wasn't having the exit speed the same way. Before that last caution came out, I felt like I was creeping back to him, starting to make some ground up on him. But I think just a little bit earlier in the run on that last set of tires, I really burnt him up early trying to clear Caldwell on some of the restarts. And during that last run, all I pretty much could do was like, hey, I hope that Gordon falls off at some point or makes a mistake. Let me just rip the bottom that I know I'm quickest at. Caldwell, I could tell he dropped down, the previous run and kind of fell back. So I know he was saving a little bit of tire on that. But coming to the closing last 10 laps, I saw Caldwell coming up on me. I knew it was a 3-car battle. So I was either going to burn him up, trying to get back to Jesse Gordon for the win, or I was going to burn him up and I wasn't going to be able to keep it going any longer and fall back to third. Either way, it looked good to me. It was still a podium. Obviously, I wish I could have had the win, but we all raced really hard and clean, and there's nothing really more I can ask for. But kudos to those guys to putting on a good show.
You had a little bit of front end damage on that machine as well, and you pretty much had it from the halfway point. Saw the kind of the front end dinged in a little bit. Do you think that affected maybe your ability to go chase down the 110?
Oh yeah, 100%. One of the restarts, when we were single file restart, I saw Jesse Gordon hit the gas, so I was all gas, no brakes, and I guess the leader at the time didn't go when he anticipated. So he ended up hitting the leader's bumper, and then I just saw him basically look like he just stopped still and was still on the gas. And right after that happened on the restart, I knew the car was tighter. I was just trying to figure out which ways I could still get the car to rotate and move the brake bias back a little bit. Didn't do enough, but I feel like if I didn't have that damage, then I think just mobility of what I'm able to do with the race car probably would have been a different story. But damage could have been way worse, though, especially after one of those restarts when we had that big pile up, too. So.
Well, Jason, you put yourself up on a podium. It's, I believe, the second time that we've gotten a chance to talk to you this season. Anybody you want to shout out while we have you up here?
Yeah, absolutely. My spotter wasn't here tonight, but Tozer, my teammates here at Fueled Up, Johnny, Nate Line, they tried their hardest, just got caught up in the stuff, but they put in a lot of work this week. So big shout out to those guys, just putting in the work every week to put our sponsors on the show and have fast race cars as much as the circumstances allow. I'd obviously like to be able to sponsor or shout out my sponsor, Admin Box. I was on the race car tonight. They've been a long time sponsor of me, so I'm super happy to be able to get them a podium tonight. Clark Heating and Cooling, Swift Home Buyers, New HD Media, WJM Media, and obviously you in the booth.
Jason Blaney, second place. We'll see you in 1 week's time when we go to the egg-shaped oval in South Carolina.
Appreciate it, Bradley.
And one more driver to talk to. It's our third place finisher, Nicholas Caldwell. And it's been a while since I've gotten a chance to talk to the driver of the number 11. I know last season, you know, we were looking at possible championship, and now it's a little bit, maybe a late start, but you're starting to put it together here in week 11.
Yeah, we had a little bit of some stuff come up at the beginning of the season, so I missed a couple races. But yeah, that was fun to run third. I think it was probably one of the cleanest races I've been a part of. But it's nice to hear your voice again, Bradley.
Yeah, we had last season, we were talking about you, Alan Dobbs at Pocono, and all the things that went down there. Walk us through, though. You start this race back at 13th, a little bit off on the qualifying. Did you find something at some point in this race, or was it just, you know, strategy, something flip-flop, these guys getting damaged? What exactly changed there in the midway point to put you up here in this top 10?
Yeah, I think I've just been hanging around Denny Hamlin too much, and I don't know how to qualify. So I knew it was going to be a tire-saving battle, and it was going to be a one-lane kind of deal. So I just spent the whole first half of the race saving tires. At the end of the first stage, I was running like 8th or 9th, and then, you know, just pick them off one by one from there. And then we had that like weird restart where they wrecked, and I don't know really what happened there, but ended up getting to 4th. And then on that last restart, with like, what was it, 20 or 30 to go or something, I just wanted to stay behind Blaney because I was hoping Jesse would fall off like even just, you know, a half a tenth. And I was trying to stay behind Blaney so we didn't get caught racing each other and, you know, losing time, even more time to the 10. But ended up where he was just better than both of us. But it was fun to race at 22, and, you know, nice to not get hit and have a good old clean battle.
Yeah, and actually took a couple stabs there at second position. It was down to around a tenth of a second there on that last lap. Close call, close race, 13th up to 3rd, 10 positions gained. Nicholas Caldwell, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, it's just, you know, appreciate you for putting on this broadcast, Clinton for putting on this league, even though sometimes that's questionable. And yeah, just overall, it's a really fun league. I think Clinton's done a good job on these improvements, and, you know, hopefully we'll get a win here, and don't think that'll lock us in, but we'll be back next season with a championship bid.
Nicholas Caldwell, appreciate your time. We'll see you at Darlington.
Appreciate it.
And so there you have it for your top 3 post-race interviews have been completed. And we have one more race next up here. It's Darlington, a track too tough to tame, the Lady in Black, whatever you want to call it. We'll change of the schedule here with Bristol. It's supposed to be Rockingham, but we have a lot of racing left to be done in the regular season. Coming up here with Kentucky Speedway after this, and then it's on to Las Vegas for the playoffs in the round of 16. Make sure you guys catch this every evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. For everybody at V Speed that helped put this together, Quentin Stewart at QSR, Adam Baker for what he does in the background to make this broadcast look good, our other co-owners, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, other producers, Logan Threlkel, and Lucas Lyons. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from the Half Mile in Bristol, Tennessee. We'll see you next week. Thank you.